everyone, welcome back to Product Chronicles. Today we are diving into a story of innovation, disruption and transformation, eBay's evolution. This isn't just about auctions anymore. We'll unpack how eBay went from its beginnings as a place to sell past dispensers to becoming one of the world's most influential online marketplaces. You'll see how eBay navigated the e-commerce boom, responded to competition and evolved with consumer behavior. If you are curious about the strategies that kept eBay relevant in the fast-changing world of tech, you are in the right place. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video if you enjoy these deep dives into the tech history. Ready to go? Let's jump in! What we are looking at here is the very first version of eBay, then known as Auction Web, and the design choices and functionality give us a fascinating glimpse into the early days of online marketplaces. Notice how there is a clear emphasis on community building right from the start, welcoming users, talking about honesty, open markets, and encouraging active participation. This wasn't just about transactions, it was about creating trust between buyers and sellers, especially when dealing with strangers over the internet, which was still relatively new and intimidating for many. The text-heavy interface reflects the need for clarity in the mid-90s. People were still getting used to browsing online and needed straightforward guidance. We see direct links for buyers and sellers, and at the core of it all is this open market idea, which stood in strong contrast to Amazon, which was already positioning itself as a traditional online retailer with a centralized inventory. On Auction Web, the value lay in connecting individual sellers with buyers. The founder, Pierre Mediar, wanted to highlight that eBay was built on trust with a strong focus on transparency, which is evident in the open forum and feedback section. He's even calling out dishonesty behavior right from the get-go, which really reinforces that community-first mentality. The site structure also reflects early web design, simple navigation, minimal graphics, and an emphasis on functionality over aesthetics. This was a time when loading speed and ease of use were paramount. The text is conversational and personable. Also, I find it interesting how much autonomy is given to users in handling transactions. There is no real intervention from eBay. Users are expected to deal with each other in a professional manner, report compliance publicly, and settle disputes themselves. Compare this to Amazon's approach, where the company plays a much more active role in fulfilling orders and handling customer service. eBay here is more like the facilitator of a conversation rather than the central authority. The black and white design with blue and purple text links is also a product of its time. Websites were still figuring out how to visually engage users without compromising on performance. But the main focus is usability. It's clear that Auction Web was built to be accessible, functional, and above all, a marketplace based on integrity. The navigation is intuitive, with listings, buyers and sellers given priority in the menu bar, and even a dedicated personal shopper feature to help users find what they need. A precursor to more advanced recommendation systems. It's almost a pure reflection of where the web was at the time. Experimental, community-driven, and focused on making commerce personal. As we analyze this further, keep this in mind. The design choices here weren't just about aesthetics. They were about building a foundation for trust and transparency, something eBay would carry through the years. This screenshot of eBay's homepage from 1999 captures a pivotal moment in the company's evolution. As we break it down, you'll see that this design wasn't just a random collection of elements, but a reflection of eBay's focus on rapid growth, user engagement, and the foundational principles of online marketplaces at the time. The interface is undeniably crowded by modern standards, yet it speaks to a web design era where information density was a badge of honor. Every pixel serves a purpose, driving users toward action. Whether it's sell your item, register it's free and fun, or get news and chat, eBay's product decisions were laser focused on ensuring that users immediately interacted with the platform in meaningful ways. Think about it, that was still a time when the internet was young and users needed a lot more direction. So the cluttered interface wasn't just a design flaw, it was intentional. eBay needed to show visitors all the possible ways they could engage. There is an aggressive push to capture user activity, whether it's buying, selling, or simply registering. Now compare this to Amazon at the same time. Amazon was all about simplifying the purchasing process for consumers, focusing heavily on books. eBay, by contrast, had a much broader aim: to be an open marketplace for everything. That's why you see such diverse categories, from automotive to coins and stamps and antiques. These categories were eBay's way of saying, we can be the platform for any transaction, no matter how niche. Visually, you notice bright and primary colors, which are very attention-grabbing. Yellow for categories, blue for links, and red for important calls to action. These colors ensure that no matter where you looked, something drew your eye. This was a critical decision to ensure that key options like selling or registering didn't get lost amid the information overload. For eBay, success meant guiding users through a sea of potential distractions toward making a transaction or becoming part of the eBay ecosystem. Look at the right-hand side. Cool features, fun stuff, and save time all exist to introduce the user to lesser-known, often overlooked parts of the platform. These elements show eBay was more than just a marketplace. It aimed to create a community and an experience much like modern social platforms today. It's fascinating to see how eBay, even in 1999, was trying to deepen engagement beyond the act of just buying and selling. By the early 2000s, eBay had firmly established itself as a global marketplace. This interface reflects a significant shift toward clarity, structure, and expansion, not just in terms of product offerings but also in user accessibility. As we analyze this, we see a few crucial decisions shaping the user experience here. The first noticeable change is the tight organization of categories on the left-hand side. There is a clear hierarchical structure with an extensive list of categories ranging from antiques to home and garden, computers, and more. It reflects eBay's commitment to becoming a one-stop shop for nearly everything, a place where users can find or sell anything imaginable. This level of detail and diversity in categories indicates that eBay was actively trying to improve the ease with which users could navigate a constantly growing marketplace. You can almost imagine the product team focusing on customer feedback, noting that more specific categories were necessary to avoid users feeling overwhelmed or lost in a sea of products. The decision to place global sites links toward the bottom of the page is strategic as well. This indicates the company's rapid intentional growth and the desire to highlight its accessibility across borders. It also points to a focus on localizing experiences, as each country has its own version of eBay, tailored to the preferences and regulations of those markets. The top navigation bar has a refined design compared to the previous versions, showcasing browse, sell, services, search, help, and community as key actions users can take. This highlights eBay's evolution from being just a peer-to-peer marketplace to offering a full suite of services. For instance, the Community tab suggests that eBay recognized the importance of user interaction, fostering trust among buyers and sellers, a move that likely helped differentiate eBay from competitors like Amazon, which was becoming more of a direct-to-consumer powerhouse around the time. Another interesting aspect is the introduction of featured items in the center of the page. This space is clearly being used to promote specific products or categories. This could have been driven by the product team's goal of increasing visibility for popular or high-value listings, and also catering to user curiosity, potentially increasing browsing time on the site. This evolution speaks to a deeper focus on optimizing revenue per session by surfacing high engagement products, much like what we see today in product recommendations across e-commerce. The Sporting the Look section at the bottom presents an early attempt at personalization. Grouping men's, women's, and gear categories reflects eBay's ambition to tailor shopping experiences. While not personalized in the way that algorithms curate for us today, the structure still shows that eBay was thinking about user segmentation, giving users a more targeted browsing experience. Comparison with Amazon at this point reveals a fascinating contrast. While Amazon was focused heavily on being a retailer with its own inventory and expanding into other product categories, eBay remained true to its roots of being a marketplace, simply facilitating transactions between buyers and sellers. The focus was more on expanding its community-driven ecosystem, while Amazon was on a path to own the entire value chain. These differences in strategic direction would ultimately shape the two companies' trajectories in the years to come. So at first glance, eBay is taking a more step-by-step approach here, and it's super obvious with the three-column layout: find, buy and pay. These are the fundamental actions every user must go through on eBay, and breaking them down in this way serves two key purposes. First, it's about reducing friction for new users. By simplifying the process into these chunks, they have essentially created an easy-to-follow guide for anyone who's never used the platform before. New users need extra guidance, right? And this is a smart solution to prevent users from feeling overwhelmed. So they are tackling that onboarding process head-on with this. Second, you've got an increased focus on education, especially for people unfamiliar with how online auctions work at the time. There is a lot of hand-holding here. You can see how to register, how to bid and buy, and even how to buy with confidence links. eBay's product managers were probably realizing that they had to build trust with their user base. The internet was still something many people were cautious about when making payments. PayPal, featured heavily, adds to this trust building. Remember, PayPal was relatively new to this scene as a mainstream option, so eBay was definitely leaning into that association. Now let's talk about the visual hierarchy. The find section right up front is clearly the most important action they want users to take, and the layout reflects that. It's the largest column with the search bar and drop down for categories, making sure users can get started immediately. The idea was to make searching effortless and quick, because if users can't find what they need, they are not going to move on to the buying or paying stages, right? In the middle column, the emphasis is on buy it now. This is an evolution from the earlier days when auctions were more of the core focus. eBay was pivoting towards immediate purchases because they had likely identified that not all users wanted to wait around for auctions to end. Instant gratification was something they were starting to cater to. It's funny when you think about it, because that's where Amazon really took off, by letting people click a button and have what they wanted right away. And while we are on Amazon, let's compare. Amazon at this point had already streamlined the buying process as a one-click affair, so eBay was still a little behind in that area, requiring users to go through the auction process or engage more steps to purchase something. Amazon at the time was emphasizing simplicity and speed, while eBay was still playing catch-up by blending auctions and instant buys, trying to balance both models. Lastly, the bottom of the page is packed with corporate partnerships and security logos. This shows that eBay was heavily focused on credibility at this point. IBM, Sun Microsystems, all of these logos were there to build confidence in the platform's infrastructure and security. They wanted to hammer home the idea that this was a professional, safe environment, much like how Amazon also focused on trust by offering reliable customer service and fast guaranteed shipping. Alright, let's continue to the analysis of this eBay interface. Right away, this eBay page from the mid-2000s is trying to do a few things clearly. It's about simplifying the path to purchase, surfacing deals, and keeping things visual. Let's talk about how this all comes together. Now, as you look at the layout, you can see eBay is doing what it does best, leading into its reputation as a marketplace where anyone can find something. The product categories on the left panel cover everything from antiques to electronics, health and beauty to musical instruments and more. This is classic eBay, catering to the everything store model, somewhat like Amazon but with its auction and deal-based twist. The decision to provide the extensive list in such a prominent position is all about accessibility. Users can quickly jump into their interests. This helps with engagement right off the bat. If we move to the center of the screen, you'll notice a big emphasis on signing in and registering. This is huge from a product perspective because it's all about capturing users early and building loyalty. eBay knows that user registration is critical for engagement and return visits, hence why they make the welcome box pop with bold, clear buttons for sign in and register. The process is designed to feel welcoming, not overwhelming, with friendly messaging like "new to eBay, registration is fast and free." The hero image in the center is quite fascinating. It's showcasing the iPhone, clocks, laptops and digital gadgets. These are high-interest aspirational products. The image also directly speaks to the zeitgeist of the time. Consumer electronics were booming in the mid-2000s and eBay wanted to position itself as the place to score a deal on these hot items. The image is doing a lot of work here. It's aspirational, it's enticing, and it focused on high-value items that could draw users in. One of the more innovative aspects on this page is the eBay Express link just below the main image. Now, eBay Express was designed for users who didn't want to participate in auctions but preferred a quick buy-now experience. This is an interesting pivot towards catering to users who were used to a more Amazon-like shopping experience. eBay was recognizing that not all users wanted the bidding process, so by creating eBay Express, they were essentially trying to capture that market segment. It was their way of acknowledging that importance of speed and convenience in modern e-commerce while still staying true to their core of being a community-driven platform. Then we have the section just below the fold titled "Ending Now." These listings create a sense of urgency. Get them before they are gone. This is classic behavioral economics in action, appealing to FOMO, the fear of missing out. By showing items that are about to be snatched up, eBay is pushing the user towards action. It's really clever because the platform needs activity. Items need to move fast and users need to feel that spark to engage. This is a nudge toward the auction nature of eBay, but with that added pressure of real-time bidding coming to a close. Finally, let's take a moment to acknowledge the "From Our Sellers" section at the bottom right. This part is all about community. eBay wasn't just a marketplace, it was built on the relationships between buyers and sellers. Featuring seller listings directly on the homepage wasn't just about pushing products, but also about celebrating and promoting individual sellers, encouraging users to explore the unique goods that made eBay what it was. Compare this with Amazon from around the same time, and you'll notice something striking. Amazon was leaning more into creating a seamless, almost invisible shopping experience, where the platform itself disappeared and it was all about product discovery. In contrast, eBay still wanted you to feel like you were part of a community marketplace. Amazon was pushing its own marketplace, but eBay was about individuals selling to other individuals. Amazon was about convenience and eBay was about finding that special rare item from someone just like you. Here, right off the bat, we notice the simplicity in this layout. It's clear that eBay is continuing its push towards being more user-friendly. Now, let's dive into the Shop Your Favorite categories on the left. This is where the categorization and hierarchy comes into play. Instead of bombarding users with every possible product option, eBay is curating a more focused set of categories based on popular trends, ensuring the user experience remains navigatable and not overwhelming. The categories are broad but well-structured, capturing essential product areas, from antiques and art to electronics and books. What's clever about this is the reinforcement of eBay's identity. They are still a platform of everything from niche collectors to mainstream shoppers. One of the most fascinating aspects here is the What's in Demand section, which looks like a combination of a tag cloud and a trending list. This visual display gives the user an idea of what's hot without needing to deep dive. For eBay, this serves two purposes. One, it subtly nudges users towards popular items, and two, it showcases the variety of interests on the platform. By including a mix of keywords like Canon EOS 500 and Call of Duty, eBay speaks to different customer segments: photography enthusiasts, gamers, tech fans, all in a quick glance. This is a powerful nudge that aims to reduce friction in the shopping journey. We can also talk about StubHub, which is a strategic partnership plug placed right in the middle. eBay isn't just a marketplace anymore. The decision to feature StubHub means eBay is embracing its role as a broader marketplace for experiences, not just items. This is where we see a direct comparison with Amazon. Amazon at the time was pushing its Amazon Prime benefits, which offered a different type of value proposition: streaming, fast delivery, and so on. eBay in this case is saying we've got sports and concert covered too. And then we have the hot brands and gift cards callouts, which signal an emphasis on trust and brand reputation. Hot brands like iPhones or Canon are highlighted here to push confidence in the user. This isn't just second-hand goods anymore, but mainstream high-quality products. This is crucial for eBay, which once had a strong focus on auctions and used items. The push for big brands helps legitimize the platform as a reliable place for both new and trusted goods. On this screenshot, we can see that this design follows a very clear holiday theme, highlighting the time-sensitive shopping window just as we start gearing up for major sales events like Black Friday and Christmas. This is a decision driven by user behavior. We know that seasonality drives massive traffic surges to eBay, so we want to align the interface to capitalize on that. Now, as we navigate through the page, notice how there is prominent emphasis on free shipping. This is not accidental. From a product strategy standpoint, we know shipping costs are one of the major reasons customers abandon carts. So, having this front and center aims to remove this friction. This is an area where we took a cue from Amazon's Prime model, which builds its entire value proposition around fast, free shipping. Here we are addressing the same psychological trigger, lowering purchase barriers. Scrolling down, you see the Your Recent Searches section. This feature is a direct response to customer behavior and our focus on personalization. eBay is a marketplace and users are often browsing a vast array of categories, so it's crucial to help them pick up where they left off quickly. The search data we have gathered shows that returning customers are more likely to make a purchase when they can revisit their previous searches easily. It's a retention strategy baked into the UI itself. By placing this prominently, we are increasing the likelihood of converting visitors into buyers. Now pay attention to the horizontal slider below that, showcasing most loved gadgets and gizmos. From a design and product management perspective, this slider serves dual purposes. First, it surfaces high-demand items which reflect social proof. Showing customers what's popular increases their confidence in making a purchase. Second, it uses prime real estate to spotlight products that are often part of our top-selling categories. This is very intentional. For example, gadgets like the iPhone 4 and Xbox 360 are not just high-margin items, but they also resonate with a broad demographic, driving up eBay's average order value. It's a win-win for both the customer, who gets quick access to hot items, and for eBay, in terms of maximizing revenue per visitor. Let's not overlook the navigation panel on the left. We see categories like fashion, electronics and technology, motors, and so on. These categories reflect not just the breadth of what eBay offers, but also its structure as a marketplace. In contrast to Amazon, which prioritizes quick discovery with its search-first approach, eBay still leans on a category-driven model. Why? eBay has a long tail of niche products and a lot of users come to explore, not knowing exactly what they want. The layout guides users by grouping related items under intuitive categories, facilitating browsers in a way that's deeply connected to how the marketplace has evolved. Finally, there is CNET's top tech picks and bidding on Demi Moore toys. These elements reflect eBay's strategic partnerships and social responsibility initiatives, offering another layer of user engagement. By integrating curated lists from trusted sources like CNET, we enhance the credibility of the platform, while auctions tied to celebrity charity drives boost engagement through cost-based marketing. Imagine you've landed on this page as a new or returning customer. What catches your eye first? Well, eBay's design here is built around maximizing engagement and driving conversions while also keeping the user journey smooth and intuitive. When we look at the hero banner at the top, we see a bold call to action: discover the best of eBay's today. That grabs attention with a clean blue background contrasting sharply with the more detailed sections below. This is intentional. From a product perspective, it's about providing immediate, direct pathways to high-priority actions such as exploring new arrivals or popular categories like Xbox One. The prominence of this banner follows a key product management principle: lead with value. eBay wants to nudge users towards high-demand products, helping them discover deals effortlessly. Scrolling down, the variety and richness of eBay's product offerings are on full display, with multiple sections highlighting categories and curated collections. The images are varied in size and style, from fashion to electronics to niche collectibles. This layout suggests a decision to appeal to different customer personas simultaneously, offering something for the tech-savvy user, the fashion-conscious shopper, and even vintage collectors. The key here is curation. eBay is leaning heavily on product discovery, which is essential in e-commerce platforms. The design of these collections, particularly the use of lifestyle photography and product close-ups, is reminiscent of what Amazon has been doing with its curated storefronts, yet eBay brings its own flair here. It leans more into visual aesthetics, whereas Amazon is more about product efficiency and prime deals. This is a key differentiator in the shopping experience. The overall design is also responsive in nature, given that eBay's users would be browsing from mobile devices, desktops, and tablets alike. The product decisions here reflect a deep understanding of user behavior, keeping the content rich without overwhelming the user. The page's longer scroll might appear daunting at first, but it's broken up into distinct digestible sections that encourage exploration without creating cognitive overload. From a monetization standpoint, you can see a subtle but important focus on advertising as well. The sponsored listings are seamlessly integrated into the organic content, blending in with the curated collections. For a platform that thrives on both user-generated listings and vendor partnerships, this integration of native advertising is a clever product decision. Now, when we first land on this page, the banner at the top is immediately catching the eye. The bright pink section with a clear message of spend a little, choose from millions, and the under $10 offer sets the tone. We are leading with affordability, which is what eBay has historically been known for. And this is critical. Customers come to eBay because they are either looking for deals or unique items they can't find elsewhere. This hero banner is driving the narrative that eBay is a place for affordable deals. The under $10 hook is psychologically powerful. Pricing thresholds like this make it easier for customers to mentally commit because it feels like they are spending almost nothing. It's all about lowering friction to conversion. Right beneath it, we've got this circular, icon-based navigation highlighting popular categories like fashion, electronics, home goods, and more. From a product management perspective, there is a lot going on here. First, the design decision to use icons creates immediate clarity. We know that people browse differently. Some come with a specific product in mind, and others are looking for inspiration or deals within categories. The use of bold, easily identifiable icons guides users in a playful and visual way, which is much quicker than a traditional text-based list. It's a subtle way of reducing cognitive load. This decision also aligns with trends we have seen on mobile apps. Icons are king there, and it looks like we are bringing some of that thinking into the web experience to create familiarity and consistency across devices. One interesting thing we notice is that the focus on personalization, or a hint of it, starts to emerge further down the page. With the headline "Ready to shop what's hot," eBay is suggesting trends, offering some curated experiences. That color block design there serves two purposes. First, it's visually distinctive and attention-grabbing, but from a UX perspective, it's also modular. which means these blocks can be easily changed, swapped out, or tailored for specific users over time. It's this subtle emphasis on personalization and experimentation. eBay is likely A/B testing which blocks or colors convert best. Now let's talk about the section right below it. Your favorites in one place with a picture of a happy, smiling customer. What we're seeing here is eBay trying to make the experience feel personal and trusted. There's been a shift in e-commerce, and we can see it on Amazon too, where customers expect platforms to remember their habits, their likes, and even anticipate their next purchase. By showing a personal favorite section, eBay is not just selling products, it's selling the convenience and joy of an organized, tailored shopping experience. It's smart because it's tapping into the user's desires for relevance. Also, let's zoom out and think about how this design compares to Amazon. Amazon tends to focus on sheer scale and utility, a place where you can find everything. eBay here is making an effort to feel a bit more playful, a bit more lifestyle-oriented. Amazon is the giant supermarket, and eBay is trying to position itself as the more curated, deal-focused experience, where you can find something unique and at a great price. Lastly, the footer here at the bottom, just like the one on Amazon, hosts all the necessary information for buyers and sellers, but what's interesting here is how eBay splits its offerings clearly. You see sections for eBay companies like StubHub and eBay Classifieds. This is part of a broader strategy of ensuring that while eBay is positioning itself as a marketplace giant, it also wants users to be aware that it's part of a larger ecosystem of commerce. Whether you are looking for tickets or local events, it's about reinforcing that brand's reach and depth. When you land on this page, it's instantly clear that eBay's goal here is to keep the user journey smooth, clean, and visually compelling. Right off the bat, we have the hero section, which is a common feature across e-commerce platforms like eBay and its competitors, notably Amazon. The visual consistency with the orange tones not only makes it aesthetically pleasing, but also keeps it laser focused. Next up is the Explore Popular Categories section. The strategic play here is all about bridging discovery and intent. By mixing categories like wristwatches with more niche interests like fishing and Korean beauty, eBay taps into the browsing behavior of users. It caters to those who may not be searching for something specific, but are open to exploring based on the hobbies or passions. It's a crucial way to increase section times and expose users to items they may not have otherwise thought about. Then we scroll down to the Halloween themes banner. This seasonal event-driven callout is classic retail strategy. From a product management perspective, incorporating timely, seasonal promotions like this helps keep the site feeling fresh and relevant, giving users a reason to come back, whether it's Halloween now or Black Friday later. Alright, let's dive into this eBay interface. Now, when you first look at it, what's the hook? What pulls you in right away? It's all about collections. The Build an Elite Collection banner hits you first, showcasing popular collective categories like Lego, coins, and comic books. This is a smart move because eBay knows its users love niche items. It's not just a marketplace, it's a community for collectors, and they want to tap into that identity right away. The orange background and playful typography make the banner inviting, signaling that you are about to embark on a hobby-driven journey. Underneath, we have the classic eBay deal section, but there is a twist. Instead of the usual product listing, they are showing trends in categories that are already gaining traction, like sneakers and watches. This is a data-driven design decision. It's about guiding users based on what's hot. eBay likely sees spikes in searches or purchases within these categories, and instead of waiting for the user to search for them, they are surfacing these items proactively. This approach echoes what Amazon does with its customers also bought feature, but here it's woven into the overall layout, not as an additional suggestion but as an integral part of the browsing experience. Below that, the introduction of eBay Live is significant. This signals eBay's push into a more interactive social shopping experience, akin to what platforms like Instagram and TikTok are doing with live shopping streams. Live events let users feel like They are getting in on exclusive deals or unique finds, and it builds a sense of urgency. Catch this now before it's gone. Alright, let's wrap up this video with a high-level look at the evolution of eBay over these years. eBay's journey can be broken down into three distinct phases, each one building on the previous and adapting to changes in e-commerce and customer behavior. The first phase is the birth of the marketplace. The eBay story begins in 1995 when it was launched as a simple auction site. Back then it was called Auction Web, and the primary goal was to create a space where anyone can sell anything, mostly used or unique items, directly to other users. Think about how revolutionary that was. Suddenly you didn't have to open a store or rely on middlemen. You could sell directly to consumers. This phase was all about auctions. The thrill of bidding created a sense of excitement, almost like gambling. It wasn't just about buying, it was about winning an item. eBay quickly became synonymous with finding rare, hard-to-get items, and that community-driven ethos was the backbone of its early success. The second phase is the shift to fixed-price listings. As e-commerce matured, so did customers' expectations. By the mid-2000s, people wanted quicker transactions. They weren't always looking for the excitement of an auction. Sometimes they just wanted to buy something immediately. This led to eBay introduction more fixed-price listings where users could purchase items instantly, much like they do on Amazon. This was a major turning point because it represented eBay's shift from being a purely auction-based platform to a more traditional marketplace. During this period, they also started focusing more on professional sellers, businesses that could offer new, retail-quality products. It was no longer just a marketplace for garage sale finds or collectibles. eBay was becoming a competitor to established e-commerce giants. The third phase is eBay's modernization and diversification. In this final phase, eBay started modernizing its platform to keep up with the rapid advancements in technology and shifting consumer expectations. This is where we start seeing a great emphasis on personalization, data-driven recommendations, and an improved user experience. eBay Live, as we have seen earlier in this video, is a great example of this push to stay relevant in a world dominated by social media shopping trends. The platform is no longer just about buying and selling, it's about discovery, interactions, and engaging experiences. They have also embraced new payment systems and enhanced buyer protection, making the platform more secure and trustworthy. Today, eBay is a blend of its original community-driven spirit and the modern expectations of conveniency and immediacy. The journey from its humble beginnings as an auction site to a major player in global e-commerce is a testament to its ability to evolve with the times, always balancing innovation with its core principles and connecting buyers and sellers. If you enjoyed this breakdown of eBay's journey, don't forget to hit the like button to let us know. And if you wanna see more content like this, where I dive into the evolution of platforms and discuss the product decisions behind them, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.